All right, so this is key topic 10, distress communications. And we'll look at a few regulations that deal with distress communications or transmissions. The one we've got on the screen, also Part 80, subsection 311. A mobile station in distress may use any means at its disposal to attract attention, make known its position, and obtain help. A distress call and message must only be transmitted on the authority of the master or the person responsible for the mobile station, and no person shall knowingly transmit or cause to be transmitted a false or fraudulent signal of distress or related communication. And these are some of the older slides that I was using with illustrations, which I forgot about these, so maybe I'll start putting some pictures in. It makes the presentation look a little better. Another regulation, subsection 312, the priority of distress transmission. Basically, the first sentence in the regulation states that the distress call has absolute priority over all other transmissions. And there are three other sentences in this section, which I made in declining or decreasing size of the font. Any station which hears must immediately cease any transmission capable of interfering with the distress traffic, which I do have defined below. Basically, it's messages that have to do with vehicles in distress. The third sentence, this call must not be addressed to a particular station. So we've looked at this before. I remember talking about that. And acknowledgement of the receipt. Do not answer them until the message is finished. All right. What is distress traffic? Is it A, all messages? Let me see where I've got. Yeah, all messages relative to the immediate assistance required by a ship, aircraft, or other vehicle threatened by grave or imminent danger, such as life and safety of persons on board or man overboard. And I see we've answered that one. Usually the longer ones have a better chance of being the correct answer. B in radio telephony, and I'm not sure. Telephony, I think, is going to be the actual pronunciation. I should look that up. It's the speaking of the word Mayday. I mean, that's part of it, but that's not exactly what distress traffic is. C, health and welfare messages concerning property or the safety of a vessel. That's not quite distress. It's up there, but it's not distress. Or D, internationally recognized communications relating to important situations. So important, not good enough. So yes, you're both correct. It is choice A. The order of priority of communication, that's found in subsection 91. Basically, you could see 1 through 4. Distress calls are first, followed by urgency communications, which we'll discuss a little bit in the next presentation, along with safety communications, and then all others are last. And the question is, what are the highest priority communications from ships at sea? So what has the highest priority in the communications from ships? Is it A, all critical message traffic authorized by the ship's master? B, and that's critical message, not quite. B, navigation and meteorological warnings. We'll find out later that that's safety. C, distress calls are the highest, and then communications preceded by urgency and safety signals. All right. The word is not preceded, but it's succeeded. Preceded is something before it. So, I mean, I think they thought the word looked good, but it doesn't necessarily mean what they want it to mean. Unfortunately, that is going to be the correct answer, as both of you have already noted. Or D, authorized government communications for which priority right has been claimed. All right, so you both got that one right. Ultimate priority in radio traffic goes to those messages whose reception could mean the difference between life and death. So they suspend the rules while that's going on. I didn't notice that before. Preceded. All right, this is very similar. What is the order of priority of radio telephone communications in the maritime services? So you can pretty much guess if out of the 6 questions about distress communications, 2 of them are talking about the priority, and I think maybe even a third one. So there's probably better than even chance that you're going to see this question, which should be, what are we on, the 9th topic, 8th topic? All right, so did I relaunch the poll yet? No, I don't think I did. All right, so the order of priority. A, alarm and health and welfare. B, navigation, meteorological, and priority. C, distress calls and signals, followed by communications preceded by urgency and safety signals and all other communications. There's that word preceded again. Or D, government precedents, messages concerning safety of life and protection of property and traffic concerning grave and imminent danger. Getting close, but I think when they're actually asking what is the order of priority, so it would be the first one would have the top. So government doesn't take precedence over grave and imminent danger, which it looks like it's listing that as third. So C, let's make sure that's correct. They do have distress first, and it's followed by urgency and then safety. So that is the correct answer. Distress calls always take precedence over all other types of communication. And I think we know that one. All right, what is a distress communication? That's in subsection 314. The international telephone distress signal consists of the word Mayday, pronounced as the French expression m'aider. And of course, my French is not going to be something you should rely on. M'aider. B. These distress signals indicate that a mobile station is threatened by grave and imminent danger and requests immediate assistance. So A and B basically talk about the word Mayday, which did start out as the French Venise m'aider, which is translated to come help me. And we're going to see that the lesser priority communications of urgency and safety, in that order, DUS, are pan and sécurité. And they've also got French originations. And the question is, what is distress communication? Is it A, communications indicating that the calling station has a very urgent message concerning safety? Well, it's even got the word urgent in, so it's not going to be a distress communication. B, an internationally recognized communication indicating that the sender is threatened by grave and imminent danger and requests immediate assistance. And I believe that is the words of the second part of this regulation, grave and imminent danger, and requests immediate assistance. C, radio communications which, if delayed, will adversely affect the safety of life or property. It's got the word safety in it, so I'd say that's third. Or D, an official radio communication notification of approaching navigational or meteorological hazards, which is going to be our safety or security. So distress communication, I'm looking for the words grave and imminent danger, requesting immediate assistance. So that is internationally recognized, and it is the correct answer. It has top priority over urgency, A, and safety, C and D. And poll share. Stop share. Okay. Distress communications, C. It's kind of a pickup from, we already looked at A and B, now here's C. The radio telephone distress call consists of 1. The distress signal Mayday, spoken 3 times, followed by the words this is. 3. The call sign or name if no call sign is assigned of the mobile station in distress, spoken 3 times. So far we're saying Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This is James, James, James. Particular of the station's position. Hopefully you can give them latitude and longitude, or some sort of reference if you're close to shore. The nature of the distress, we're on fire. 6, the kind of assistance desired, firefighting, and any other information which might facilitate rescue. For example, the length, color, and type of vessel or number of persons on board. Okay, so this Mayday first came into act in 1923. How many years ago was that? 1923? It was 100 years ago. Senior radio officer Frederick Stanley Mockford in Croydon Airport, London. The French word m'aider, help me, was based when creating this distress expression. All right, so the question is, what information must be included in a distress message? 1, name of the vessel. B, location. C, type of distress and specifics of help requested. Or D, all of the above. I think we're not going to have too much trouble on this particular key topic. D is correct. The more information you can provide, the better are your chances at help. On land, a 911 operator may be able to learn the location from which the phone call is received, but there is no such luxury at sea when using voice. People can become so scared during an emergency that they may panic and forget even the most basic information that is needed to provide assistance. So, looking good on the results of our poll. A related question, the radio telephone distress call and message consists of, and basically another way of asking the same question. Let me see if I can launch that poll again. Okay, A, so far it looks good. Let me read the whole thing. Mayday, spoken 3 times, followed by the name of the vessel and the call sign in phonetics. All right, so what's the correct answer is all the above, so they all look good again. Particulars of the position, latitude and longitude, and other information, color, length, etc., number of persons, nature of the distress. Yes, all the above. I don't see anything on there that would not be part of your distress call and message. And the answer is D. Again, people become frightened in an emergency. It's important to stay calm and help the authorities help you. Provide them with as much information as possible to make the job easier. If a ship is swamped, count the heads immediately. If someone is missing, tell the authorities. International distress signals. Certainly, the first one that we're talking about is the spoken word Mayday sent over the radio. Other things, certainly if you're on the ground, waving your hands up and down, shooting a flare, setting off a orange smoke bomb. If you're talking on Morse code, you can use the original SOS, save our ship. And I think all children are taught that these days. At least they were in my day. Probably not these days. ... dash dash dot. Shoot a gun every minute. Use a foghorn, flames or smoke. Shoot a flare or a rocket. There's flags. EPIRBs and SARTs, we'll be talking about those a little bit more. I think each one has their own section, so I'm not going to get into that too much. A SART's a radar transponder. And that's going to be about it. This part here, I haven't seen a question on it yet, but they're talking in that same group of regulations is this subsection 313, frequencies for use in distress. I put this as our last slide. Basically, the emissions are what type of, in effect, by talking into the microphone, you're emitting into the microphone. But there's other frequencies, like our digital frequencies, where it doesn't really listen to voice, it listens to something else. So I'm thinking that 156.8, where we do know that that's voice, I believe that's F3E. I'll get into that a little bit more because 156.750 is this PON. Until we see some questions on emissions, I'm not going to worry you much about them right now. So I think that's going to conclude our presentation.